Okay, so this is how to UV a countertop, a rug, picture frame, and a backsplash in Maya. So first, let's build out this counter. So to do that, I will get myself a cube. I'll scale it out. Let's bring it up. Get myself a multi-cut tool. Remember, you can also get to it. Well, I'm already in the tool, so I can get to it. But, shift right click. So we're here, and I'll make this cut right here because it's going to be an L-shaped counter. Press Q to quit the tool. Go to faces, select this face, Control E for extrude, bring it out. Now we got ourselves a counter. I'll even make this side a little bit longer just because. Let's see, I like it, I love it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to edges, select all the edges, shift right click, do a bevel edge. Segments, as I always say, of 2 or more. I want that to be a little tighter. So I just did Control Z to go backwards. Just go do Control Z if you mess up. Let me close this for a better view. So select all, shift right click, bevel edge. Segments of 2 or more, and I'm gonna hold down Control so I can have more control and get this bevel nice and tight. Okay, and that's amazing, all right? So press Q to quit. Now right click, I'll go to object mode. And I will now go to my UV editing section. So now we're in UV editing. You see the shape. We're just gonna go over here to UV automatic. Bang, right? Laid this out. All right, so the main important parts, I'm gonna UV the whole thing, I guess, but the most important parts are the top and these side pieces. Usually when you're doing a kitchen, you're not gonna really see that bottom part, but we'll just give it a little bit of love anyway, all right? So if you look at it, right, this is a L-shaped. So in the UV, if I'm clicking on it, that's an L shape. So that's the top. And that's the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is, since these are our good guys, I'm gonna double click on them and bring them over here to heaven. And I'm going to scale them now. So I'm gonna right click. I mean, not right click, I'm sorry. I'm gonna press R for scale and scale it out to remember till it looks like it's squares. Now I'm using them both at the same time because they should work at the same time, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But I like to get myself a good view. So at least one of them is looking correct. So, and that's the top one, which is the one that matters the most in the end. So I like that. These are looking like squares. They're not looking like rectangles or anything crazy. They're looking like uniform squares, like a checkerboard. Let's look at the bottom. Oh yeah, look, these worked out the same way, luckily. This is our bottom one, so I'm not gonna care about it so much. We'll just send it to the left, but we're gonna still UV it, of course. Now we have these side portions. So let me do this just so I can make sure I'm getting it. If I select one face, hold down Shift and select one face, hold down Shift, double click the next face, it gets the whole edge loop. So you see that these are all the sides of the counter. Now, one thing to also notice, since I put this bevel on it, right, we have these extra faces right here. So as you can see right here, this face, like all of these are extra faces, right? But so that means that this is the top and this is the bottom. So if I double click on this one right here, we find it, we'll see that that's the bottom. So what we'll do is just double click on it, press E to rotate, hold down J, and make it the right way. Same with this one right here. If I click on it, that's the top face, which is fine. Now over here, if I click on this, this is one UV shell. If I click on that, let's find this. I can press F too if I can't find it. This is the back portion, so it won't matter so much, but just to keep things uniform, since I know that this is the top face, I'm gonna rotate it. So E, No, wait. J, sorry. Different program. Okay, so this one is now laid out. And because this is probably, we're not going to see this one so much, I'll just put it over here, just doing it for continuity reasons. This one right here, you can see this is the top. So double click on this, E, hold down J. And we'll put this over next to this one as well. This one we might see, right? Oh yeah, we already have that one. So this is the last one. And we just need to figure out which face is on the top. It's that one. So E, J, let's rotate, and we're done, right? So these over here matter the most, and these over here don't matter so much. These really don't matter over here. Because usually I'm thinking about my kitchen. I don't have a kitchen model actually here, but this is like a wall or something. So it'd probably be like here, and then I'd have another one like over here or something. So I'm thinking for some reason, like I'll see this one, I might see this one and that one, but the ones on the back side and the bottom, which are these right here, if I highlight them all, you can't really see them. And we're not going to be taking any camera shots from over there. So these look good, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'll select these, because these are my tiles over here. This one's stretched but more because the way it projects, it's probably hitting that one and that one at the same time. And these two, as you can see, the squares are smaller, are getting a different textile density. And what textile density is how big the squares are, how dense it is, how many they're in there. And even though they're distorted, you can see that we can make out these a lot better. I mean, these a lot better than those. So anyway, I'm going to select this one and this one. So these are the two right here, because they're looking like that. I'm going to scale these, both of these at the same time. So I just press R to scale. And I'm just going to scale them out at the same time until they look like squares. All right. You can see the numbers there. They're looking normal. Perfect, right? So I have this one. I'll just place right here, and this one. All right. Now check this out. They're all supposed to be, since this is the length of this. Anyway, we're gonna just base all our UV textile density, so the size of the squares off of this one. Since we already UV this top one, all we have to do is go in and click on this. There's R to scale, and we'll just scale it down. And because it's this piece, it probably will be scaled down to around the same size because it pretty much belongs right here. So if I press R to scale, I'll just make it about that length. And we're done with that one. And I'll do the same thing with this one, because it's kind of like looking at it from this side. All right. So same thing pretty much as the cereal box, it's just a different shape. So now we have this, perfect. And now that it's here, I'm just using this as a measure. So I'll just put it right here. And then we have these two right here, right? Which were being projected like this. So we'll just scale these two at the same time. Scale it like this. Remember, you just want to look at one face. You want to get all up in its face like this. Perfect. All right. And since this one is about the same size as that, you can just go over here And if I move this over here and I press J to rotate, E to rotate, J to get the 90-degree increments, place it right here, R to scale it down. Okay, and we have this one right here, which fits right here, right? So I'll press E to rotate, J, like this, R to scale it down. Okay, there we go. So this is pretty good. These right here, like I said, they're in the back, so we're not going to see them, so they don't matter. Now, the whole goal is to put this in here, and I'm going to try to fit the largest piece in there the best I can. So I'm place it right here and scale it down so that you see these edges right here. Because the larger this is in the UV, the better it's going to look. And I'll just take this right here, and I'll just place it somewhere just out the way. I'm not scaling these because they all need to remain the same scale, since we already scaled them down. So I just go like this, place this one here. Ooh, double click, get the whole thing. Now this other part, even though it's UV correctly, but we'll just put it in here, and we just need to fit inside of here. That's all. It's not really too important because it's the bottom part, but we'll just give it a little bit of something. Cool. And these two pieces right here, let's scale them down. Like I said, these don't matter at all. Okay, great. So now that we have this, let's send it to Photoshop. So to send it to Photoshop, I have to have it in object mode. Click on it, go to the camera right here, or we can go to, what is it? Image UV snapshot, because that's what we want. We want that UV snapshot. So I have this from old project truck body, which is this is not anymore. So I'm just going to change it to counter top let's say like marble UV Targa 2048, apply and close. Now that UV's made, now let's bring it up. So let me go to my desktop. Okay, so here's some of my old UVs, well, my little folder that I have. Project settings, counter, marble top UV. So I'm just gonna right click, open with Adobe Photoshop. Now, before I go into Photoshop, I wanna show you all this, which is, there's this site called textures.com. So what I can do, I can go to Google and I can say, I can go to marble texture, and then I can go to images, and I can get the largest one I can find. So we'll go to filter. Oh no, this is Bing images, but Google has the same thing. And we're gonna go to extra large. And what you wanna do is you wanna get a large image, because the larger the image, the better the resolution, the better it's gonna look, right? Ooh, that's nice right here. Oh, I have to snag that. You know, let's do it. Snag it. Let's go. This is the other project for the truck. Let's go to, let me just go over here, get it. Desktop. So yeah, so here's my folder that I made in the beginning. So we're gonna go to source, images. Is that it? No, that's not it. Let's go to images. Yeah, I'm in images, right? So we'll just go to brown marble top and it's in my image folder. But also let me go back to textures.com real quick. So if we go to textures.com, I already signed in for here. They give you 15 free images. So if you don't get them all from here, I think it's 15 free for every 24 hours. So I can go here and I can say brick, I can go to blocks and it'll give me a whole bunch of textures like this. So this site is really good. We'll go to marble, right? And let me see, let me go to base pattern and I can choose from any of these right here. Just look at these, tons of textures, marble textures. So let me go to something, I like this one, right? So I'll click on this and it says, it'll give me this size right here for free. This is like a square, so it's basically chopped. And this one is like a letterbox sort of, you know, the resolution, you can see the resolution right here. That's kind of low. This is decent right here. So let me get one free. It's downloaded right here, right? So let me go to downloads folder. So I have the folder open, right? So I already have my UV in there. So this is what I can do. I can go in and just grab this marble textures and I can just drag it in. And there you have it. It's in there. And then I can do, since this is the marble texture, this is our background, I can go to Control T and press, oh no, Control T, and then I just scale up a little bit and I can get it to whatever size I like this, let's say. And let's say I really like this size right here and I don't want to get any bigger. I can go smaller or bigger. Let's go like this, right? You could even go like that, but that texture might look too large because you got to think this is the top of your counter. So if it's like this, it's going to be super big. And if you go like, you know, a little bit smaller, it's going to look a bit more normal, right? So let's say I like this right here. Just click on this and I can just duplicate it. So let me go over here. And what is the yeah, duplicate layer? Thought there'd be a shortcut tip there. So you can just duplicate it. And then if, let me see if I do Control C, Control V, oh, that duplicates it too. So Control V again. So all I'm doing is putting Control V over all of these. And I'm covering up our Control V, our good parts of the image. So this is important. Control V. And I'll just cover up this right here because that's what we UV, Control V. And I'll try to make sure they overlap a little bit. It's hard to tell with marble if it has overlap. Certain other things, let's say a brick pattern might show. Control V, up, ooh. Control Z, Control V over this, and I'll get this area right over here too. Control V, Control V. So you got all this. And just to cover up this last part, what I'll do is you see all these right here. So these are good guys. So I'll just click on the top one, shift click on the bottom one, and then I'll put it, I think you put it in a folder. Let me see. Or we could even do flatten image, but there's a folder option, I believe. Or group or something. Control G. Oh, Control G. Put it in group. All right. So normal. There's marble group, right? And then I can just do another Control V, right? So this, for this one, and I'll cover up everything else, and I'll just blow it up larger because I'm not going to really be seeing these pieces, but just to cover them, just in case. Now hold down shift and I can like stretch this out. And for this one, I'll put it under the other ones. So now it's under, and you can see the difference. This is like super zoomed in and this is zoomed out, right? So if I go to File, Save As, and let me go to my, oh no, that was the right folder, right? So images, and I'll go Marvel UV, and then I can go like underscore V01, right? So that's my version 1. I'm gonna save it as a JPEG. Save. 12 is the maximum, okay? Now I'll go back into Maya now. And let me go into my Maya Classic just to do it. I'll select my object, I'll right click, and I'll say assign new material, Arnold, AI standard surface. And here it is right here. So marble counter marble countertop MTL for material. And then I'll just go to color, click on the swatch, go to file. All right. Then I'll go here. What happened? A little freeze. Okay. All right. This is my project folder that I told you all to make in the beginning. So he knows where to look for the image. Marble countertop UV01, click open. Now, if I click on this, it takes me back to my marble countertop. Now, if I do 4, remember it's wireframe. 5, it's solid. 6, we have the texture. So boom, it's on there now, right? Easy, and it's looking good. It has the bevel on it. So it's gonna look real nice when we put the lighting on it. Now look at the bottom part, right? So we see the bottom, how blown out this is. And then we see the top, how it's nice and scaled down. And it looks good. It looks great, right? Now let's do a rug real quick, right? Let me get myself a cube. I mean, a cube, a floor plane. I'll stretch it out. Wait, let me do this too. So this plane comes with some subdivisions, which we don't really need, you know, because we're not doing too much with it. So you could just like take it down. Sometimes I like to see a couple. I mean, it doesn't matter at all. It definitely doesn't matter. What matters is the shape. This is just gonna be a plane. So I take this right here, and go like this. Only thing I will do is give it a little bit of thickness. So I'll right click and I'll go Control E, and I'll just raise it up just a little bit, just like the slightest bit, just because. So you see how like low it is in 266. So it's super, super thin. Let's say this is gonna be my rug, right? So let me take this into the UV view, UV editing, have it right here. We see what it's looking like, right? If I right click on this face right here, it's, oh no, actually, before I even do that, let's go to UV automatic, right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? So if I go there, click on that, click on this. So this is our main tile. Press E to rotate because we can see the numbers are to the side. And so since this one's over here, wait, am I clicking right? Yeah, nah, this over here. So I'll click on this, hold down J. Now if I press W, that was a little weird. Maybe it's so thin it did that. So if I click over here, if I press W and I move it, we can see where it says UV1. If you just need a reminder what that is, that's this right here. So if this is in the center, you see the U and all this stuff. So let's just rotate it. E, hold down J, rotate it in even 90 degrees. Let me turn this off. Oh, that was the wrong one. So let's do it 180 degrees. All right, so now it's perfect. Now what we got to do is always, we got to get up all in his face and look at it like this. See, all right. Let me UV. So I go like this, bang, there we go. All right. So that's looking pretty good. Now this side is going to be hard to see because it's, well, let's send it to heaven first because it's so small and thin with that right there, that right there. Now, what these are, because I put that split there, as you can see, this one is right there and those are over there. So if I grab all of these, hold down J, ooh, let me do that one more time. Hold down J. So I did Control Z to go backwards. Don't ever try to turn it backwards. And like I said, since this is half the size of those, I just put this right here, press R to scale, and I'll just scale. The only thing is, all right, so this side was this side because this is a long side. And this side, so we just got to figure out the two long ones. Okay, so this top one, this bottom one. So if I press 4, you can see a little better, or maybe not. Like I said, it's super thin, so they won't matter so much. But I'll just scale these out to this size right here. And double click on this, shift, double click. I'll bring this right over here. Let's do it. E, hold on J, get the 90 degrees. W, pull these to this side. All right, so we have these right here. And what I'll do is, yeah, so these are the same size as the side, and this is the top, and this is the bottom, which you're not going to see at all, right? So it's going to hell, right? Because it's bad. All right, anyway, I will click on this, move all of these over here, and press R to scale. And since the biggest one is the one that matters the most, we'll just put it right here. You just have to make sure that it's within these lines. So you see that one's within the lines, this one over here, yeah, that one's within the lines. And then I'll just take these, E to rotate, hold down J, rotate it this way, W, put it right there. Okay, so everything's inside, that's inside, those are obviously inside. These are inside, the edge point ends of these are inside, and these are inside. Okay, and like I said, this is the bottom one, so it doesn't matter at all. We'll smooth these up. Also, another thing we can do, because these are connected to these pieces, if I right click, go to edge, I click on that, so we see that this edge is lighting up. So that means that these edges right here should be over there. So if I go like this and click on shift these edges, and then I do a shift click, shift right click, move and sew edges. What it did was Maya took those pieces, since they're already the same size, and it sewed it to this big piece. Now I'll do the same thing over here. If I click on this one, it's basically this right here. Just to show you what it's doing. E, hold down J. I'll bring this up here. It's basically connecting these two pieces because it knows that this edge corresponds with this edge, like they're connected on the actual object. So if I click on the main big object, so the one that you don't want to move, you click on first, shift, clicking on this one, shift, and then I do shift, right click, move and sew edges. Now it's all connected. So all this means is when you put your texture on, this is going to be a continuous texture. I could do it also to the sides, but like I said, it's not that important because these are so thin. But you know what, I might as well just do it. So if I click on this one, shift, click on this one, shift right click, move and sew edges, it connects that one, shift, shift, shift right click, move and sew edges. So now this tile right here, and I'll double click on it and I'll scale it down. They're all connected. So that means whatever I put on here, it's going to be continuous. It's not going to be choppy or anything. And these were within the limits. So pretty good. Cool. So now I'll press 5 to bring it back solid again. We can see it's on the UV. And remember, if we look at it right here, and look, this is a bit too bright for me. because I'm old and my eyes are going, right? So I got to go to image. If I go to dim, it dims it down a little bit. So I'll double click on this. As we can see, what we see here, how these look proper, it looks proper here. If I was to do like this, then it looks okay here, like geometry wise, but the UV's messed up. So that's why we need to get them uniform squares, which this is. It's looking great if I don't say so myself. So we turn off the image. Now I'll go to object mode, because remember, to order to send these UVs, it has to be in object mode. Select it, and then I'll use the camera this time. Click on this, and this one says countertop marble. So now this one is kitchen rug UV, all right? Targa 2048, apply and close. All right, so now I'll go to my class folder, which I put on my desktop. Images, countertop marble UV. We have it right here, right click, open with Photoshop. My Photoshop's already open, so it should just open it in another tab. Oh, it didn't. So maybe I'll just click off of this and I'll just do let's do no. I don't know why that didn't happen. So anyway, I just shut down my Photoshop and I'll just open up another one. So kitchen rug. Oh, I think I opened up the wrong one. All right. So I think it should have stayed open, but open up a new tab. I was too excited to make it. So now we're here. There goes the UV, right? So now let's go to our textures.com site. So let's go over here. Let's go to fabric, right? And wrinkles, wicker, carpet. Let's go to carpet. Now, what kind of carpet do I want in my kitchen? There's not too many carpets here. There's fabric. There's all types of images here. Just trying to see if I have something similar to this. Wool. Yeah, you wouldn't have a wool rug. Oh no, maybe you would. If I was really weird, I could have a camouflage rug. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go camouflage, right? So I'll click on this. Should I do it? Yeah, let's just do it just to do it. This might be a low resolution, but we'll see what it looks like. So I have it right here. It's downloaded. So now I will go into my folder, downloads, and I'll get it. Whoa, what happened there? Okay. So I'm just in my download folder and I'll just drag it in to Photoshop, just like we did before. No, that's not the right one. Let me just hide it, right? Camouflage, this is the one. All right, it's in there. Now if I just drag out, and I'll just cover this up. Or if I had like even higher resolution one, should be fine. And if I press like up on the arrows on my keyboard, I can like cover this whole thing. So I have this right here. Let me just scale this in just a little bit, just so I can get that maximum size. But I need to cover up that entire UV. Okay, perfect. Double click. Now let's do file, save as. Let's go to JPEG. Kitchen rug UV underscore V01. And the reason I do that V01, I'll show you in a second, right? So if I go to save, maximum 12, okay. Now, if I go to this, like I said, let's go back to Maya Classic. I right click, assign new material, Arnold, AI standard surface. Rug underscore MTL for material. It's great. Let's go to color now. We'll go to file. Click on the file. Remember, it's in our images. Well, it should be in our source images, but I put mine in images. And if I click on it, double click off. Remember, 4 is wireframe, 5 is solid, 6. Why didn't that work? Oh, and you see there's history right here. So let's delete this history. Construction history. Let me click on this. Oh, for whatever reason, I didn't do it right. So go to file, click on the file now. Go up here, go to images, kitchen rug UV. Double click on it. Okay, now it's in there, right? 4 is wireframe, 5 is solid, 6, now I see it. Now, the reason why I do that VO1 stuff, VO2, is this reason, right? So if I go in here now, and let's say I want something different, I go back to my textures.com. And let's say I do actually get like myself a nice carpet. Or let's even try to go to Google and see. Carpet texture, I'll put underscore. And it's already on large size, I believe, extra large, which is exactly what I want. And avoid images like this that have a vignette on it. So that vignette is like a darker edge, because when it shows up, it's gonna look really odd. You want it to be like plain colors, kind of like this one. How it's just like flat and there's no vignetting. Because vignetting looks bad. You want the light to vignette your stuff. You don't want that to. So let me go back. Find a little bit of a better texture. Like I said, vignetting bad. These flat ones are good. Let's say like this one right here, right? Now it has a watermark on it. Try to watch out for that too if you can. That has some vignetting. It's gonna look a little weird. This one, okay. So I'll do save image as fabric like brown texture, save. It's in my downloads, right? So now I'm back into my Photoshop. Did I download it correctly? File, save image as. Oh, it went to my images. Okay. So images. All right. So here is the rug. Watch out where you save stuff. All right. So I'll drag it in here. There it is. I'll scale it down and kind of do the same thing I did with the counter. All right. I'll place it right here. Double click to seal a deal. Control C, Control V. And Photoshop snaps it together. Control C, Control V. If you're in a situation where it's like this, it's fine. It's okay if it bleeds off. That's totally fine. Now I can select all of them. Well, let me do this. I'll select this one and I'll just push it over a little bit because it saw a little overlap. And this one right here, I'll push it over a little bit because you don't want that little line, but this is like a seamless texture. So it's good. So then I'll do a Control C, Control V. So it gives me all of these copied at once. And I'll just place this on top right here. And then I'll do File, Save As. JPEG. That's why it's not showing, because it looks at the files. Sometimes I like to go to date modified and kitchen rug UV 01. I'll just change this one right here to 02. Save. Cool. Now I'm back in Maya, right? Now, if I select my object, let's say I'm gonna select some other objects, right? Let's say something like this, or I've done some modeling or something, right? Let's say I select this. I want to look at the material. I just right click, go to material attributes, and it takes me straight to the material. If I click on this, this is like an input output thing. So this is saying, all right, this is connected to something. It's connected to this. Now, since the other ones I saved is O2, I just delete it, press O2, enter. Now look, it's the next thing. Now, if I did 3, 4, 5, it would be the exact same thing. You know, now let's do a little bit of cheating. Well, it's not really cheating, but just let me show you this, right? So I just did Control D and I copied this, right? Now if I press E and I click on J, now I'm making it vertical. Now it's raised up. So now it's like this, right? So check this out. What if I wanted to make this like a backsplash? For organization's sake, I should like name it backsplash or something like that. But what I can do is I can go back into Photoshop, you know, and I'll do that too. I'll hide everything. So let me just select all this stuff, do a Control G. I mean, wait, Control G to group it. And yeah, so I'll just do like rug E01 just to do this. I'll hide the visibility. And then I will go to our texture.com. So now this will be like a backsplash, right? So I'll go to textures.com and I'll go to like tiles. Where's tiles? So we go to paper, marble tiles right here. So now I want to make myself a fancy backsplash. I like the one I just saw, but let me go see if there's anything cooler than the one I just saw. It's kind of cool. One's all right. Or let's see what Bing has in terms of backsplash. Or let's just do tile texture. That's all it is, right? Just a tile. And remember, you don't want to get that. Well, that wouldn't be all right if you plan on having a little bit faded towards the bottom. But for me, I want something a little different. So that's kind of cool. This is nice too. I like this. So let's do save image as. And I'll name it backsplash, right? It's in here, it's saved, it's called backsplash. I just got to go to my images, right? We see backsplash, let's drag it in, right? I can just place it right here. Now there's something called seamless textures. I don't know if this one's seamless, but depending on how large you want it, we can just put it like right here, let's say, and double click to seal the deal, Control C, Control V. We have another one. So sometimes it might not line up right. Sometimes you got to find that sweet spot. So this looks all right because the brick's in there. It just depends on how far away you are you from the camera. I could also rotate it and say, is it gonna be line up? Nah, this way is a little bit better, I think. Just because that brick looks like it's the same color. Okay, double click, seal the deal. I like it. Shift, Control C, Control V. So I have this one right here. I'll place it right here. And I'll just select them all and drag them down just to make sure I'm covering if I like highlight over these eyeballs. Or if I select all these and go to opacity, and if I take it down, I can see that it's like over my my UV tile. I could even select them all and do Control T and just move them down. I'm holding down the arrow to do this. And let's say for whatever reason, I want that brick right there. Now it's in there. So now let me take the opacity all the way back up. So it looks all right. And I'll just do a file, save as. Over here to JPEG. Kitchen rug UV. So now we'll just name this Backsplash brick. Save. 12. Cool. Let's lower this, minimize it, whatever. Now we just go right here, right click. Well, let me go object mode, click, right click and hold, assign new material, Arnold, AI standard surface. Let's name it Backsplash. Let's go MTL. Go over here to this color, click on this, go to file, click on this, and go to images, /UV. I should have named it VO1. It's hard. So why didn't I add? So if I go back here, oh, for whatever reason, I didn't go to file. Okay, now it's gonna add, right? So I go back here, go to my images, click on this. And now we have this in here. A little different before. So 4, 5, 6. Yeah, now we have that. Now what I can do is I can scale this and I can place it in my kitchen like this. Look at that. It's right here, right? Cool. Now here's another slick thing, right? Let's say for whatever reason, Control D, it's like too high. I mean, you should have made it whatever size you wanted it to be, but let's say you did like me and you're trying to be slick and make it out of the rug. What we can do is we can go over here to this knife tool and we can like slice it down if we wanted to, right? So you don't want to move that edge, but you want to, let's say if I wanted it to be like a little lower or whatever, I can press Q to quit. Q to quit, and I can go to faces. And then I can just, since I made those extra faces, I can just press delete. And now I got this. So it's like shorter now, just in case. Because if we try to scale it, it's going to distort the texture. Because we already UV'd it, Or you can make a completely new one. It's all up to you. But now that I have this one, just for whatever reason, if it was in here like this, J, W, place it right over here. And, just saying, if this was your kitchen, you can do this. All right. And the same thing is if we wanted to make a floor. So if I have a floor, I'll just make a wood floor. All right, so let's just say this is my wood floor. This would be like on the floor. So right now I want to make a wood floor and I'm not even going to give it thickness. So I'll just go over here to my UV editing. I'll go to, we got to go over here to object, we select it, go to UV, automatic. Well, it's already automatic because it's like a square. So it's already kind of like there. But now we just have to go in here. We have to look at it straight up in its face. Like before a boxing match, how the fighters get like right in each other's face. You got to get like that. Or you're trying to look at somebody on your phone, like real, or look at something on a picture, just like real in detail. So that's how you want to have it. You want to have it lined up. You want it to be like this or like that. You want it to be completely straight like this. All right. So now I'll just go to my UV. I can go to UV or I can right click and go to faces, but UV lets you like see the stuff. So if I double click, so I right click UV, and if you click on one, doesn't matter which one, it gets the entire shell. There's R to scale. It's going to be one way or the other. It's going to be this way that we can find the squares, or it's going to be this way. So I'm already doing it this way. Let's look at it. And those squares, they're looking like squares, right? Cool. I'll scale this down to fit inside the UV grid. Perfect. And if we really need to see it, we can just isolate it. And as you can see, that and this are the exact same thing. If I was to move this, just so you understand how UV works, if you don't already. It took me a long time to understand. So, okay, great. I'm loving it. Now let's take it to Photoshop. So right click, object mode, select it, go to not UV. Go to the camera, remember, or we'll go to image, UV snapshot. Let's erase this last name and I'll name it wood floor. 2048, target remain the same, applying close. Now let's go to our wood floor UV, right click, open with Photoshop. Yeah, see, this is what I was supposed to do before. So I have the other one and I have this. Okay, cool. So let's go back to our friend textures.com. We'll look at both again though, but let's go back and let's say I want to go to filter. I'm not filter. This wood floor texture. So we have all these. Remember, you do not want to get the vignetted one. So this looks a little vignetted. I don't like it. It looks weird. You can even do something like this one and then like tile it. This one's kind of nice, but I want to get like, let me get something nice. Also, Google, has a different, if you do the same thing on Google, it'll give you a different set of images as well. A few will be similar, but she'll be different. Yeah, I'm not feeling these. That one has watermark on it. This one would be nice. So right click, save image as. We do wood floor A. I'll save it as. Hope y'all could hear me. There's a train coming. So wood floor A, I saved it as. Now let me go over here to textures.com. I could even type in wood floor here, but yeah, let's just go here and find it. So wood, there it goes. Wood, tree bark, there's what rough wood, there's plywood. Let's go to fine wood, right? And we can use one of these. Let's see if we can find one cooler than the one I just chose. That's all right. No. Close. All right, let's get this one right here. Remember, the free one you can get, if you got the free account like I did, you just gotta sign up with the email. But ones like these you can tile. They are, this is purchased. Maybe I got that before. I don't know why it says that. So that one's good because the resolution's higher than that one. But these over here, they cut off. So if you want to tile it, it might look a little bit strange, as you can see. But you can also like alter it yourself. So let's say, you know what, let me just do it just to do it. So this one's a high resolution. I got it, I just downloaded it. Now let's go into my images and where'd that save to? Oh, okay, that one saved. So when I was saving it from the other, I mean, from the internet, it was going into like that folder. Now we have this. So let's say we have this right here and I like it. Oh, I got a mosquito in here. So I'm gonna speed this one up. Right, but it's got the cutoff right here. So let's say I want to cut this off. What I can do is I can go over here to select this and I'll get these right here and I'll press delete. Whoa, sorry, I'm on this layer. I select this and then I press delete and it says it's not editable. So you just right click and then you say rasterize layer. Now when I click on it to delete, oh no, I have to be clicked on it, delete. Now I can delete it, right? So remember, your layer has to be highlighted. If you still see these marching ants, this thing, you have to click on this right here and just click one time and it goes away. Now we click our move tool area. Now zoom out, I'm pressing Alt and I'm using the scroll wheel and we can place it and we can just put this on our floor now. So as always, we can scale it down a little bit if we like. Let's say like this. Control C, Control V. Oh, Control C, Control V. Oh no, I have to double click, my bad, to seal the deal. Click on this. Control C, Control V. Now we have this one. It's cool. Now we're holding down Shift, got both of them. Control C, Control V. Now I have this one. Now I can Shift select all of these, Control C, Control V, and duplicate it there. Control C, Control V. Bring this one here. Then I can do Control C, Control V. Ooh. Control Z. All right, so let me do that one more time. Control C, Control V. It was just hard to see because they're layered on top of each other. Yeah. So now we have all this. I do file, save as, JPEG, put on JPEG first, wood floor, underscore UV, V1. All right, save. Okay. Now we're back into Maya. Let me go over here to Maya Classic. Click on this. Oh, and I isolated everything else. That's why you can't see it. So now I click on my floor right here. And look, we have a lot of construction history from when I made it. So we can delete that history, which is the second button, delete by type history. And then we can do a right click, object mode, assign new material, Arnold, SN surface, color, click on this, go to file, click on the file, go to my images, should be the last one. It's this one right here. And there we have it, we're in there. Color balance seems kind of off, right? So we can go over here and kind of adjust it a little bit if we need to. You know, just if you need to, but should be all right. Now we have our floor, we have a rug. And remember, if this is too big, which just shouldn't be an issue, you know what I'm saying? Or if we need another one, just Control D, just moving all over. If you know our kitchen's larger, and so that'll just save you some time and you can place this wherever you need. But it should be already laid out. And that's how to apply objects. And now if you're just not, let's say your walls are white or whatever, or blue, whatever color it is, with these, we don't necessarily need to UV them. It's just going to be a flat color. We can just go ahead and give it an Arnold material and like give it a shader. So just let me do that real quick. Right click, assign new material, Arnold, etched in surface. And then say wall material. And then we can just go over here and, you know, make it light blue or whatever color it's supposed to be. Yeah, I gotta close one. That's it. So that's how you UV objects in your kitchen scene and bring them to life. Looks kind of tacky, but that's, you know, that's just the example photos I use. But yours should match your reference. That's it.